very important services in your hands that you have to please take care of as teachers. Now, I'm going to make one last statement. Please remember that an educational institute is there to serve the mission. We're serving the students, so they take up scriptures, they go out and preach. We're serving the Brahmanas so that they can use their learning to inspire others to also become teachers. But most importantly, please do not forget, we are here to serve and expand the mission under the overall management. We should all be able to facilitate the function of the mission and the preaching expansion through the institute. I will tell you, sometimes we face situation that students who become very knowledgeable, they become Bhaktisastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, and then when wrong kind of pride, when pride manifests in their heart because of this degree, they stop supporting the management. They have their own ideas. The temple president says, please perform service. They say, no, we are very busy with studying. Or they will start quoting shlokas. No, please, no. Do not do that. Remember, personal sadhana, engaging in preaching, engaging in service is the real qualities of a good student also. So please assist the management with your learning in expanding the mission. The Ministry of Education is there to assist you all. If in any way we can help you, we'll be grateful. And I also pray that you receive the blessings of all the senior Vaishnavas who are coming here today to speak with you. You take their instructions in your heart and you're able to expand. Please never be discouraged if there are obstacles that come, difficulties that come in your studies as students, in your service as teachers, for our administrators who may be running the institute. Pray to the Lord to overcome all the obstacles. Do not become discouraged. And the subject matter that you will teach, Srila Prabhupada's books, will give us the strength to carry on. Srila Prabhupada's transcendental books, Ki Jai. I have a few more minutes with you, and I would like to read a little bit from Srila Prabhupada's writings, his wonderful translations that he has given on Karma Yoga. Chapter 5 of Bhagavad Gita, Karma Yoga, Action in Krishna Consciousness. And in the interest of time, I will only read His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada's translations. Patita Pavana Chaitanya Prabhu, I understand that I have 3 more minutes, so I will read for 1 or 2 minutes. And if anybody has any question, you can address that afterwards. Text 1, Arjuna said, "O Krishna, first of all, you asked me to renounce work, and then again you recommend work with devotion. Now will you kindly tell me definitely which of the two is more beneficial?" Text 2, the personality of Godhead replied, "The renunciation of work and work in devotion are both good for liberation. But of the two, work in devotional service is better than renunciation of work. One who neither hates nor desires the fruits of his activities is known to be always renounced. Such a person, free from all dualities, easily overcomes material bondage and is completely liberated, O mighty armed Arjuna. Only the ignorant speak of devotional service, Karma Yoga, as being different from the analytical study of the material world, Sankhya. Those who are actually learned say that he who applies himself well to one of these paths achieves the results of both." One who knows that the position reached by means of analytical studies, Sankhya Yoga, can also be attained by devotional service, and who therefore sees analytical study and devotional service to be on the same level, sees things as they are. Merely renouncing all activities, yet not engaging in the devotional service of the Lord, cannot make one happy. But a thoughtful person engaged in devotional service can achieve the supreme without delay. One who works in devotion, who is pure soul, and who controls his mind and senses, is dear to everyone, and everyone is dear to him. Though always working, such a man is never entangled. A person in the divine consciousness, although engaged in seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving about, sleeping and breathing, always knows within himself that he actually does nothing at all. Because while speaking, evacuating, receiving, or opening or closing his eyes, he always knows that only the material senses are engaged with their objects and that he's aloof from them. So as the few verses state here, analytical study that you all will be carrying out should always be kept in the perspective of devotional service. Thank you. I also offer my obeisances to Simeshwar Gaura Prabhu if he's here, and to also Shanti Rupa Mataji and her husband, whose association I had a few years ago in Malaysia. Thank you. If there are any questions for the last minute for the ministry, I'll gladly take that up. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much to His Grace Tapan Mishra Prabhu for giving wonderful words of encouragement and very nicely highlighting the importance of Shastric education, as well as sharing with all of us wonderful guidelines of how the institution should be carried out. What should be the teacher's role and responsibilities, and what are the characteristics and qualifications of a very good student. So we also have received some comments that some participants are requesting to be translated into Tamil. So we are very fortunate to have Her Grace Shanti Rupa Mataji. So if any devotees have any questions for His Grace Tapan Mishra Prabhu, we'll take that questions first, and then maybe Her Grace Shanti Rupa Mataji can give a quick recap in Tamil. Budingla Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. My humble obeisances to Tapan Mishra Prabhu. We can try, Prabhu, we can try. Maybe I will start from translating his question and any questions, the answers now.
Okay, sure, Mataji.
Later, as time permits, we can do the other translation, because I was not there from the beginning.
Okay. So are there any questions? A few minutes late. Yeah, no problem, Mataji. Thank you so much for coming. Are there any questions for His Grace Tapan Mishra Prabhu? Prabhu will be here. And thank you so much, Prabhu, for your wonderful support.
Thank you.
From the
I wish you all the best. I pray here at Sridham Mayapur to Shri Panchatattva, Lord Narasimhadev, Shri Radha Madhav Nashta Sakhi for all success for the Institute. Thank you for asking me to come and speak to you. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for making time for a wonderful association. So next, we are also very fortunate to have His Grace Singheshwar Prabhu, Co-Regional Secretary of ISKCON Malaysia. And Prabhu will be speaking on the importance of Shastric education. So Shanti Rupa Mataji, would you like to do a translation as Prabhu goes, or give a recap towards the end?
I would leave it to Simeshwar Prabhu if he wants me to do side-by-side translation, or he wants me to do it at the end.
Singheshwar Prabhu, how would you prefer, Prabhu? Prabhu, you're muted, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, he can speak in Tamil. As well.
Hare Krishna.
Sorry, Singheshwar Prabhu, I totally forgot.
I have to get Tamil education. I have to get Tamil education before I can do that. I was thinking that Atul Krishna Prabhu will go in before me, right?
What?
So,
Prabhu is
We
not
don't,
here yet, Prabhu.
see him here.
He's not here yet, Prabhu.
We don't
So
see
that's why.
him.
he will join at
I see.
9 o'clock, Prabhu. Sorry.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. So, Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Dhamini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Prasthaya. Hare Krishna to all of you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. This dropout, uneducated, and not so deserving person to speak about education. Mataji, you can translate.
Okay, Hare Krishna, எல்லோருக்கும் Hare Krishna. இந்த வாய்ப்பை ஒரு படிக்காத ஒரு பள்ளியிலிருந்து விழுப்பட்டு விட்ட ஒருவருக்கு இந்த கல்வியை பற்றி பேசுவதற்கு வாய்ப்பளித்தமைக்கு மிக்க நன்றி.
So in that sense, I am the most qualified to actually be in this IISE Institute of Education because I am that student.
அந்த விதத்தில் பார்த்தால் இந்த ஈப்போ இயக்கத்தில் இந்த நிலையத்தில் கல்வி நிலையத்தில் இருப்பதற்கு நான் மிகவும் தகுதி வாய்ந்த ஒரு மாணவன்.
So based on my qualification, I can be a student to anyone.
என்னுடைய தகுதியை பார்த்தால் நான் யாருக்கு வேண்டுமானாலும் மாணவனாக இருக்க முடியும்.
So with the IISE Institute of Education, I really thank the persons, devotees, Parabrahma Prabhu, Patita Tarana Prabhu, Murli Darsham Prabhu, who's that? I forgot. Of course, Tapan Mishra Prabhu, Atul Krishna Prabhu, Guru Maharaj himself, of course, is pushing this very much, and all the others who are involved in the setting up of the IISE.
இந்த IISE ஈப்போ கல்வி நிலையத்தில் ஈப்போ ஆன்மீக கல்வி நிலையத்தில் பங்கேற்று இருக்கும் ஸ்ரீமான் பரபிரம்மா பிரபு, ஸ்ரீமான் பதித்த தாரண பிரபு மற்றும் முரளிதர் ஷாம் பிரபு, இன்னும் ஒருவர் இருக்கின்றார். அதற்கும் மேலாக ஸ்ரீமான் தப்பன் மிஸ்ரா பிரபு, ஸ்ரீமான் அதுல் கிருஷ்ணா பிரபு, குரு மகாராஜ் கூட இதற்கு பின்னிருந்து இதற்கு மிகவும் ஊக்கமளித்து கொண்டு இருக்கின்றார்.
Though the abbreviation is very close to IIT, I think it is IISTE, the IISE Institute of Spiritual Technology, seems to be what's going to be happening with this education.
இந்த கல்வி நிலையத்தின் பெயர் ஆங்கிலத்தில் IISE என்று இருக்கின்றது. இது மிகவும் IIT என்ற மிக பிரபலமான இந்திய கல்வி இயக்கத்தின் பெயரை மிக ஒட்டி இருக்கின்றது. எனவே இதற்கு ஈப்போ இன்ஸ்டிடியூட் ஆஃப் ஸ்பிரிச்சுவல் டெக்னாலஜி என்றும் நாம் பெயர் கொடுக்கலாம்.
Then we can contend with some gurus who use terms like inner engineering.
எனவே சில குருமார்கள் எப்பொழுதும் என்ஜினியரிங் பற்றி அந்த பதங்களை பிரயோகித்துக் கொண்டிருப்பார்கள். அவர்களுக்கு இது மிகவும் சுலபமாக இருக்கும்.
So one of the aims and objectives of the mission of ISKCON, that is to bring members closer together for the purpose of teaching a simpler, more natural way of life. The seventh purpose of ISKCON, of which I think is the number 6, is to bring members closer together for the purpose of teaching a simpler, natural way of life.
எனவே அகில உலக கிருஷ்ண பக்தி இயக்கத்தின் 7 முக்கியமான கொள்கைகளுள் 6வது கொள்கை என்னவென்றால், எல்லோரையும் நாம் ஒரு மிக எளிமையான வாழ்க்கையை எவ்வாறு வாழ்வது என்பதை கற்பிப்பதற்காக ஒன்று கூடுவது என்பது தான் அந்த 6வது கொள்கை. இயற்கையான முறையில் எவ்வாறு வாழ்வது.
So we have with us in our hands to present the Raja Vidya, which is verily mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, the Raja Guya, Pavitram, Uttamam, Pratyakshava Gamyam Dharmyam and Susukam Kartumavyayam, a knowledge in education that is the king of all education. It is a very secret, this process, and a pure, supermost, direct by direct perception and joyfully performed. So this is, we have with us this which we are going to present to our students.
எனவே இந்த ராஜவித்யா ராஜகூயம் பவித்ரம் பதம் உத்தமம் இவை எல்லாமே பகவத்கீதையில் சொல்லப்பட்டிருக்கிறது 9வது அத்தியாயத்தில் 2வது ஸ்லோகத்தில். எனவே இது நமக்கு எல்லா விதமான கல்வியை மிகவும் நன்றாக நமக்கு சொல்லிக் கொடுக்கின்றது.
If we see Hinduism, for a long time, they were very closely termed a way of life. Hinduism is a way of life. That was a slogan that has been used for a long time.
நீங்கள் ஹிந்து மதத்தின் கொள்கைகளை பார்க்க போனால் பல நாட்களாக பல காலங்களாக ஹிந்து மதம் என்பது ஒரு வாழ்க்கை முறை என்று கூறப்பட்டுள்ளது.
And then later on we see many other religions also using the same term, a way of life.
அதன் பிறகு பார்த்தால் இன்னும் பல மதங்கள் இதையே உபயோகித்துக் கொண்டிருக்கின்றன, இந்த பதத்தையே உபயோகிக்க ஆரம்பித்தனர்.
And many movements also speaking in the same line.
பல இயக்கங்களும் இதே கொள்கை ரீதியில் பேச துவங்கினார்கள்.
Now we have, I was recently for a few months thinking, can we call ourselves a way of life? Our ISKCON is a way of life. Can we say that?
நாம் சில மாதங்களாக யோசித்துக் கொண்டிருந்தோம், நம்முடைய இந்த வாழ்க்கை முறையை, அதாவது இந்த அகில உலக கிருஷ்ண பக்தி இயக்கத்தில் நாம் வாழும் முறையை ஒரு வாழ்க்கை முறை என்று நாம் கூறலாமா?
So in the seventh purpose of ISKCON, Prabhupada said to bring the members closer together for the purpose of teaching a simpler, more natural way of life.
எனவே இந்த 7 கொள்கைகள், இந்த இயக்கத்தின் 7 கொள்கைகளில் பிரபுபாதா என்ன கூறியிருக்கின்றார் என்றால், 6வது கொள்கையில் எல்லோரையும், அதாவது இந்த இயக்கத்தில் இருக்கும் அங்கத்தினர்கள் எல்லோரையும் ஒன்றாக கொண்டு வந்து அவர்களுக்கு மிக எளிமையான இயற்கையான வாழ்க்கை முறையை கற்றுக் கொடுக்க வேண்டும் என்று கூறியிருக்கின்றார்.
So when I read this, it is even more, I started reflecting on this purpose.
இதை படித்தவுடன் நான் இன்னும் இந்த கொள்கையை பற்றி யோசிக்க துவங்கினேன்.
So now my question is, earlier I said, can ISKCON say we are way of life? Now I'll go further to say, can ISKCON members say we are practicing a natural way of life?
எனவே இப்பொழுது இன்னும் அதிகம் ஒரு படி மேலே சென்றால், முதலில் நான் சொன்னேன் ஹிந்துவிசம் ஹிந்து மதம் என்பது ஒரு வாழ்க்கை முறை என்று கூறிக்கொள்கிறார்கள் என்று. இப்பொழுது நாம் இந்த இயக்கத்தின் அங்கத்தினர்களாக இருப்பவர்கள் எல்லோரும் இந்த வாழ்க்கை முறையை கடைபிடித்துக் கொண்டிருக்கிறோம் என்று நாம் கூற முடியுமா?
May I know, like, what time I should stop so that I can just be ready and see how to, context it all. Murli Prabhu.
நான் எப்பொழுது என் உரையை முடிக்க வேண்டும் என்று சொல்ல முடியுமா?
We are waiting for Sila Guru Maharaj another few 4 minutes, Prabhu.
Okay. So, way of life. So therefore I was thinking, just taking one shloka of the Bhagavad Gita, we take Patram, Pushpam, Palam, Toyam, Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. And that shloka, Srila Prabhupada translates, if one offers me with love and devotion, a fruit, a flower, water, or or a leaf, I will accept it.
எனவே நாம் ஒரு ஸ்லோகத்தை முதலில் பார்ப்போம். இப்பொழுது பிரபு சொன்ன ஸ்லோகம், அதாவது எவரொருவர் எனக்கு ஒரு பூவையோ பழத்தையோ நீரையோ மிகவும் உள்ளன்போடு எனக்கு அர்ப்பணிக்கின்றார்களோ அவர்களுக்கு நான் பக்தியை தருவேன் என்று.
And chapter 9 on the Rajavidyam shloka, Prabhupada says, Krishna will only accept things that are offered to him with love and devotion.
அதே போல இந்த ராஜவித்யா ஸ்லோகத்தை பற்றி பிரபுபாத் விளக்கும் போது அவர் என்ன கூறுகிறார் என்றால், எந்த பொருட்கள் எனக்கு உள்ளன்போடு பக்தியோடு அர்ப்பணிக்கப்படுகின்றனோ அவற்றை மட்டும்தான் நான் ஏற்றுக்கொள்வேன் என்று கூறுகின்றார்.
So in the context of a natural way of life, I am questioning myself, am I offering Krishna a fruit, a flower, or a leaf, or water?
இந்த இயற்கை வாழ்க்கை முறையில் நாம் வாழ்வதை பற்றிய அந்த எண்ணத்தையொட்டி நான் இப்பொழுது யோசித்துக் கொண்டிருக்கின்றேன். நான் கிருஷ்ணருக்கு இந்த பூ, பழம், நீர் இவற்றை உள்ளன்போடு சமர்ப்பிக்கின்றேனா என்று.
Of course, I'm offering more than that. I'm offering a kilo, 10 kilos of leaf, 10 kilos of flowers, 10 kilos of fruit, gallons of water. So I've got a lot of devotion.
எனவே ஆனால் நான் ஒரு பூ ஒரு பழம் மட்டும் நான் கொடுக்கவில்லை. நான் பல கிலோகள் கணக்கில் பழங்களையும் இலைகளையும் நீரையும் பல கேலன் கணக்கில் நீரையும் அளிக்கின்றேன். அப்பொழுது எனக்கு மிகவும் பக்தி இருக்கின்றதா?
But is it natural?
ஆனால் இது இயற்கையானதா?
Where do I get my fruit? Where do I get my flower? Where do I get my water? Where do I get my leaf?
நான் எங்கிருந்து என்னுடைய பழத்தை எடுக்கின்றேன், எங்கிருந்து என்னுடைய பூவை எடுக்கின்றேன், எங்கிருந்து இலையை எடுக்கின்றேன், எங்கிருந்து நான் இந்த நீரை எடுக்கின்றேன்?
I get it with my money. I get it at the supermarket. And I get it with lots of wonderful chemicals added to it.
நான் இதனை பணம் கொடுத்து ஒரு சூப்பர் மார்க்கெட்டிலிருந்து நான் இதை வாங்குகின்றேன். அதில் நிறைய ரசாயன பொருட்களை கலந்து விற்கின்றார்கள்.
So I am offering Krishna a leaf and some chemicals. I am offering Krishna a fruit with some chemicals. I am offering Krishna a flower with some chemicals, and I am offering Krishna stagnant water.
எனவே நான் ஸ்ரீ கிருஷ்ண பெருமானுக்கு ரசாயனம் கலந்த பழத்தை அர்ப்பணிக்கின்றேன், ரசாயனம் கலந்த இலையை அர்ப்பணிக்கின்றேன், ரசாயனம் கலந்த நீரை அர்ப்பணிக்கின்றேன், தேங்கி கிடக்கும் நீரை அர்ப்பணிக்கின்றேன்.
So is this devotion? That is what I am thinking.
இது பக்தியாக முடியுமா? இதைதான் நான் யோசிக்கிறேன்.
So is that devotion? And if I like you, all 145 of you here today, if I came to your house and offered you in one glass full of potassium cyanide, and I put a flower beside it, or I put fragrant chemicals and put that fragrant chemicals which are hazardous to your health, and I offer you that I make a garland for you, and I cook with hazardous chemicals, and I offer it to you, can I say it's out of love?
இப்படியாக நான் உங்கள் வீட்டிற்கு வந்து உங்களுக்கு ஒரு ரசாயனம் கலந்த பொட்டாசியம் சயனைடை கொடுத்தால் நீங்கள் அதை அருந்துவீர்களா? அல்லது ஒரு ரசாயனங்கள் எல்லாம் கலந்த ஒரு மிக சுகந்தமான ஒன்றை உங்களுடைய மலர் மாலையில் வைத்திருந்தால் உங்களுக்கு நான் அதை அணிவிக்க முடியுமா? இவ்வாறு அல்லது ரசாயனம் கலந்த வேறு பொருட்களை நான் உங்களுக்கு அர்ப்பணிக்க முடியுமா?
And when the Guru comes to the temple, he sits on the Vyasasan. We take this flower, which is a bouquet of pesticides, and we put it on his neck and offer it as devotion and love.
ஒரு குரு நம்முடைய ஆலயத்திற்கு வருகின்றார், அவர் வியாசாசனத்தில் அமர்கின்றார். நாம் என்ன செய்கிறோம்? நாம் இந்த மலர் மாலையை எடுத்து, மிகவும் ரசாயனத்தில் தோய்ந்து எடுத்த மலர் மாலையை அவருக்கு அணிவிக்கின்றோம்.
And he takes it very willingly. And what do you do with the garland? Generally, you take it and you inhale the fragrance.
அந்த குருவும் அதனை மிகவும் அன்போடு ஏற்றுக்கொள்கிறார். அதன் பிறகு அதை நமக்கு கொடுக்கும் போதும் நாம் அந்த வாசனையை முகர்ந்து எல்லோரும் முகர்ந்து ரசிக்கின்றோம்.
So are we doing devotion? Doing it with devotion?
நாம் இதை பக்தியோடு செய்கின்றோமா?
Okay, one may say it's devotion, but definitely there is no education.
ஒருவர் இதை பக்தியோடு செய்கிறோம் என்று கூறலாம், நிச்சயமாக அதில் கல்வி இல்லை.
So this concept of natural way of life is in the Bhagavad Gita, is in the Srimad Bhagavatam, is in Chaitanya Charitamrita, and
yes, Prabhu.
And up to now, it's difficult for me to say that ISKCON is a way of life.
எனவே இந்த இயற்கையான வாழ்க்கை முறை என்பது பகவத்கீதையில் கொடுக்கப்பட்டிருக்கின்றது, ஸ்ரீமத் பாகவதத்தில் கொடுக்கப்பட்டிருக்கின்றது, சைத்தன்ய சரிதாமிரதத்தில் கொடுக்கப்பட்டிருக்கின்றது. ஆனால் இது இந்நாள் வரை அகில உலக கிருஷ்ண பக்தி இயக்கம் ஒரு இயற்கையான வாழ்க்கை முறையை கடைபிடித்துக் கொண்டிருக்கின்றது என்று கூறுவதற்கு நான் தயங்குகிறேன்.
So I'm praying to the educators, to the teachers, that you take seriously this, that if we do not educate, there is a strong forging between education and agriculture and cow protection. There is a lot of education in this area if we join together.
எனவே நான் இப்பொழுது இந்த கல்வி கற்பிப்பவர்களிட பிரார்த்தனை செய்கிறேன். ஏனென்றால் இந்த விவசாயம் மற்றும் பசுக்களை பராமரிப்பது மற்றும் இந்த கல்வி முறை இவற்றிற்கெல்லாம் ஒரு மிக நெருங்கிய தொடர்பு இருக்கின்றது. இதனை நாம் நன்றாக உணர்ந்து நாம் கல்வி முறைகளை பயன்படுத்தினால் நிச்சயமாக நல்ல பலனை தர முடியும்.
Otherwise, what will happen is people will come, they will get their education from you, they will get the Bhaktisastri, they get the Bhakti Vaibhava, they will even get the Bhakti Vedanta. But when they learn that we are not practicing a way of life, what to speak, a natural way of life, they will be accepting the philosophy, but they will be with another movement. That means they will take Krishna conscious philosophy, but not an ISKCONian. They won't be with the Hare Krishna movement, but they would take our philosophy.
எனவே நீங்கள் பக்தி சாஸ்திரி, பக்தி வைபவ் மற்றும் பக்தி வேதாந்தா இவற்றையெல்லாம் கற்றுக் கொடுக்கலாம். ஆனால் இந்த இயற்கையான வாழ்க்கை முறையை எல்லோருக்கும் கற்பிக்காமல் இருந்தால் அவர்கள் எல்லோரும் இதையெல்லாம் கற்றுவிட்டு வேறு இடத்திற்கு சென்று விடுவார்கள். ஏனென்றால் இதை நாம் நடைமுறையில் செய்து காட்டவில்லை என்பதற்காக. எனவே அவர்கள் என்ன செய்வார்கள்? நம்முடைய தத்துவத்தை எடுத்துக்கொண்டு அவர்கள் வேறு இயக்கத்திற்கு சென்று விடுவார்கள்.
So all our heart, there are already people like that who have taken our philosophy. Some have taken parts of it. There are vegetarian movements. Prabhupada was the first to speak on cow protection. Prabhupada was the first to speak on vegetarianism. Prabhupada was the first to speak on everything. But many groups have come out taking portions of Srila Prabhupada's faculties that he spoke about.
எனவே இப்பொழுதே இந்த காலகட்டத்திலேயே இது போன்று நடந்து கொண்டிருக்கின்றது. பலர் இந்த இயக்கத்தில் இருந்து நல்லவற்றை எல்லாம் எடுத்து சென்று சில பகுதிகளை கூட, ஏனென்றால் ஏற்கனவே கல்வி தத்துவத்தை மற்றும் பசு பராமரிப்பு, விவசாயம் இவற்றிலெல்லாம் பகுதியாக எல்லோரும் உணர்ந்து அதனை எடுத்துக்கொண்டு வெளியே சென்று விட்டு இருக்கின்றார்கள்.
And this is the numbers are hundreds of thousands, millions. If you talk about the vegan movement, you talk about the farm movement, you talk about the eco movement, you talk about the philosophical movement, there are hundreds of thousands who have accepted what Srila Prabhupada spoke, but they are not ISKCON members.
எனவே நிறைய நிறைய பெயர்கள் பல நூற்றுக்கணக்கான ஆயிரக்கணக்கானவர்கள் பிரபுபாதர் கூறியதை ஏற்றுக்கொண்டு அவர்கள் அதனை சிலவற்றை அவர்கள் கடைபிடித்துக் கொண்டும் இருக்கின்றார்கள். ஆனால் அவர்கள் எல்லோரும் இந்த அகில உலக கிருஷ்ண பக்தி இயக்கத்தில் இல்லை.
So we have lost all these people.
எனவே நாம் இவர்களை எல்லாம் தொலைத்து விட்டோம்.
Because the natural way of life which Srila Prabhupada wanted is not fully there, I would say. Not a very small part of it in certain parts of the world.
ஏனென்றால் அந்த ஸ்ரீல பிரபுபாத வலியுறுத்திய அந்த இயற்கையான முறை, வாழ்க்கை முறை என்பது அகில உலக கிருஷ்ண பக்தி இயக்கத்தில் சில இடங்களில் மிக சிறிய அளவில் தான் கடைபிடிக்கப்பட்டு கொண்டிருக்கின்றது.
Don't blame me for speaking for a long time. I'm just told to speak to fill in until Guru Maharaj comes.
No, Guru Maharaj is already in, Prabhu. Guru Maharaj already.
Okay.
Why did you say
So I will just stop here. So with this, I'm saying that we have to, there'll come a day that we can say ISKCON is a natural way of life according to the 6th purpose mentioned in the 7th purpose of ISKCON. It'll be wonderful to say that yes, ISKCON is a natural way of life, not just a way of life. With that, I thank you very much, and thank His Holiness Srila Guru Maharaj for also coming in. Hare Krishna. I'll end here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
எனவே
சாரி மாதாஜி, நீங்க பேசுறீங்க.
ஓகே, ஹரே கிருஷ்ணா. எனவே இந்த அகில உலக கிருஷ்ண பக்தி இயக்கத்தின் 7 கொள்கைகளில் 6வது கொள்கையான இந்த இயற்கையான முறையை நாம் இயற்கையான முறையை வாழ்க்கையில் கடைபிடிக்க வேண்டும் என்பதை ஸ்ரீல பிரபுபாதா வலியுறுத்தியிருக்கின்றார் என்று கூறிக்கொண்டு, இப்பொழுது நான் ஸ்ரீல ஜெயபதாக்க சுவாமி நம்முடன் இருக்கின்றார். எனவே என்னுடைய உரையை முடித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். ஹரே கிருஷ்ணா, வணக்கம்.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, His Grace Singeshwar Prabhu, so for the very wonderful points and bringing upon a lot of questions which actually can intrigue our thoughts, and also giving on the importance of Shastric education. So dear devotees and well-wishers, we are very, very fortunate this evening to have the presence of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, co-GBC of ISKCON Malaysia and ISKCON Initiating Guru. So we would like to welcome His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Srila Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Srila Guru Maharaj, for embracing the grand opening or launching of IPO Institute for Spiritual Education. So we are also we would like to invite Srila Guru Maharaj and all the devotees who are present on the Zoom platform to have the wonderful darshan of their Lordship at Sri Sri Jagannath Mandir, Kuala Lumpur. So we having the wonderful, beautiful darshan of Sri Sri Radha Gokulananda, Sri Sri Radha Shama Sundar, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, and Sri Nitai Sundar Gaurahari. So they are the presiding deities of Sri Jagannath Mandir, Kuala Lumpur. I know Shanti Rupa Mataji and Tatvir Prabhu are missing their lordships very much.
Also, would like to welcome His Grace Abdul Krishna Prabhu,
Yes,
who is
Prabhu.
our Board of Examinations Chairman, Director.
Thank you so much, His Grace Atul Krishna Prabhu, for embracing this evening's program. Hare Krishna, Srila Guru Maharaj. So we would like to welcome His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Srila Guru Maharaj to take the wonderful darshan of their Lordship and to give a spiritual discourse. Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Three meetings here. I'm attending 3 meetings at the same time. I just wanted to wish you all the best on this program of teaching the illiterate devotees. I just wanted to wish you the best on this program of teaching to the illiterate devotees. Very grateful. The videos on Gurus. Oh. Yeah. So I'm very grateful. I don't see Muridhar Shyam so I don't see Muridhar Shyam and Tul Krishna. Maharaj is attending another meeting. Go. I don't like to. Yeah, are you able to hear?
Yes, Srila Guru Maharaj.
I like to wish you all the best for your program. I would like to wish you all the best for your program. And thank you for Krishnadas and everybody in Malaysia. So I thank to Krishnadas and everyone in Malaysia for this program. I can take you on the now. Thank you, Muralidhar. Haribol.
Hare Krishna, Shantirupa Mataji, would you like to just translate in a gist? Mataji, you're muted, Mataji.
ஹரே கிருஷ்ணா, எனக்கு மிக சிறிது நேரம் இருப்பதால் முதலில் உங்கள் எல்லோருக்கும் என்னுடைய இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியை நடத்துவதற்காக என்னுடைய வாழ்த்துக்களை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். குறிப்பாக கல்வி அறிவு இல்லாதவர்கள் கூட இப்பொழுது இந்த தத்துவத்தை பெற முடியும் என்று நினைக்கும் போது எனக்கு மிகவும் பெருமையாக இருக்கின்றது. இதற்காக நான் மிகவும் கடமைப்பட்டிருக்கிறேன் உங்கள் எல்லோருக்கும். ஏனென்றால் நீங்கள் இந்த கல்வி அறிவு இல்லாதவர்களுக்கு கூட கொடுக்கிறீர்கள். எனவே உங்கள் எல்லோருக்கும் என்னுடைய மிக சிறந்த வாழ்த்துக்கள். குறிப்பாக இங்கே அதுல் கிருஷ்ண பிரபு இருக்கின்றார், அவருக்கு என்னுடைய நன்றி. மற்றும் மலேசியாவில் யாரெல்லாம் இந்த இயக்கத்தில் பங்கு கொள்கிறார்களோ, இந்த சேவையில் பங்கு கொள்கிறார்களோ அவர்களுக்கெல்லாம் என்னுடைய நன்றி. முரளிதர் ஷியாம் பிரபுக்கும் என்னுடைய நன்றி. ஹரே கிருஷ்ணா.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, great Shantirupa Mataji. So, dear devotees, we are also again very fortunate. We have with us this evening His Grace Atul Krishna Prabhu, the chairman of ISKCON Board of Examination. So many of you might be seeing Prabhu for the first time. So just a very brief introduction. So His Grace joined ISKCON's Melbourne Mahaprabhu Mandir in Australia in the year 1985. And His Grace served as a book distributor and a fundraiser in ISKCON Melbourne for 12 years. His Grace spent the subsequent 4 years under the personal guidance of his Mantra Guru, preaching in Bangladesh, during which time His Grace learned fluent Bengali. So His Grace now resides in Sridham Mayapur and teaches Shastra and teacher training in both English and Bengali mediums throughout India, Bangladesh, and the Middle East. So currently, His Grace is actually serving as a chairman of the ISKCON Board of Examination. So, dear devotees, without further ado, we would like to hand over the virtual stage to His Grace Atul Krishna Prabhu. Handing it over to you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Mancha kalpa trubya shakrpa shandubeba cha patitanam pavaneba vaishnaveba namo namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaudamani Pachane Nirvishesha Shandavat Pashtad. We were reflecting, it gives great joy to us deeply when we hearing the wonderful news that IIPO, regarding the IIPO Institute for Spiritual Education. When we consider our parampara line from Srila Prabhupada stretching all the way back to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gaudiya Sampradaya, we can see that it is embedded with so many jewels of Sanskrit, Bengali, and Vedic learning, Vidya Ratna, so many jewels of learning in our Sampradaya. Sridhar Swami Maharaj, Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, Baladev Vidyabhushan, these are charges in our line. Actually, they are known. They are known because of their literary contributions, because of their great learning in Shastra, and their great understanding of the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. That's why these devotees are actually seen and present in our Sampradaya as established by Srinatha Saraswati Thakur, who himself was such an embodiment of all Vedic wisdom, such a scholar that even the experts in every field would be fearful when they would sit before the lion guru, Srinatha Saraswati Thakur, as he would Apishidhanta Dvanta Harine, Apishidhanta Dvanta Harine. He's able to recognize anything which is contrary to the Goswami Siddhanta, to the conclusions of the Goswamis. He's able to recognize anything which is contrary to that, and immediately destroy that misconception with his conclusive knowledge of the Goswami Grantha, the writings of the Goswamis, and the Srimad Bhagavatam, and where required, the Vedic literature, also Upanishads. In fact, the Bhaktisastri program of Srinatha Saraswati Thakur, Bhaktisastri program that he conducted in the Gaudiya Math, involved every year graduates would be reassessed, something like a professional qualification, a professional degree, where like a pilot's degree, or even I think chartered accountants have to have regular assessment and have their qualifications renewed. So every year the preachers of Srinatha Saraswati Thakur would assemble in Navadip Mayapur Dham, Sri Chaitanya Math, and they would take the examination again. They would be examined and to maintain their title of Bhaktisastri and other titles that were awarded by Srinatha Saraswati Thakur. And his curriculum of Bhaktisastri is probably 20 times the content that we have in ISKCON, in our Bhaktisastri program. So we can, and what to speak of speaking of Srinatha Saraswati Thakur and his emphasis on systematics learning and preaching through systematic education. Srila Sachidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he actually was entirely focused on education and curriculum development and writing literatures, entirely focused on that. And he wasn't founder of an institute, and he wasn't involved in the administration and leadership of an institute. He was employed by the British government as a magistrate, and he wrote the book. So basically, when you consider the spiritual life of Sachidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur, it is completely focused on education. So in this way, we are convinced that the great acharyas in our line and Srila Prabhupada are joyful seeing that the devotees in IIPO have established the Institute for Spiritual Education, IISE. No doubt the establishment of this Institute gives great joy to Srila Prabhupada and all of the acharyas in our line. As Srila Prabhupada emphasized on many occasions in his preaching and commenting on Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, that Nacha tasman manusha shukashid me prikritum bhavata nacha me tasmad anya priyata robhuvi. Krishna is explaining in his concluding words of Bhagavad Gita that in this world there is no one as dear to me. Anya priyataro bhuvi. Where is the other who is more dear than the one who is yayidam paramam gujam madbhakteshu abhidashiti, who is yayidam, what I've said to you in Bhagavad Gita, yayidam paramam gujam, this topmost confidential knowledge about Krishna Bhakti, about how Krishna can become conquered simply by surrendering to his representative, following his instructions and engaging oneself with devotion in loving devotional service. Satatam, what is that? Bhajanti priti purvakam dadami bhuti yogam tam. Satatam yesham shatatam juktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. Those who are constantly serving me, satata juktanam bhajatam priti purvak, who are worshipping me with great affection, dadami bhuti yogam tam. I give them buddhi yoga, I give them wisdom, I give them realization. Yaina mamu bayantite, by which they can come to me. So what a treasure that Srila Prabhupada has given us in terms of the practice of Krishna consciousness, which is fundamentally based upon hearing and chanting. Jari dekha tarikaha Kishnu Upadesh. And the fundamental platform of preaching Krishna consciousness is to speak to people as Mahaprabhu ordered the Kumar Brahman. That's Andhra Pradesh at Kurmakstan, the first place where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stopped after leaving Jagannath Puri and embarking on his South Indian tour. That first Tirthashtan, Kurmashtan. Mahaprabhu is such an important interaction with the Kurma Brahman, who was worshipping the Kurma Dev, Kurmashtan, Kurma Brahman. And Mahaprabhu, upon being received at the home of that Brahman, he ordered him, Jari dekha, tare kaha Krishna Upadesh, Amaragai Guru Hao, Tare Desh. Jari dekha, whoever you see, Tare kaha, speak to them Krishna Upadesh. The teachings of Krishna, Prabhupada translates Krishna Upadesh, the teachings of Krishna as given in Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Amaraga Guru Hao, and in this way you become a guru. You simply have to speak the teachings of Krishna as given in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. In this way you become a guru. So our IISE Institute for Spiritual Education actually is producing gurus. In the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the line of Srila Prabhupada, producing spiritually empowered teachers, gurus, who can spread the knowledge of Srila Prabhupada's books all through Malaysia. And in this way, the mercy of Krishna consciousness, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally became a preacher. He appeared in an extraordinary avatar, Chaitanya avatar, Kali Yuge, Jugadharma Prochar. The Jugadharma, the process of religion for this age is Name Prochar. Name Prochar is propagating the holy name. Toti Lage Pita Borna Chaitanya avatar. And that Chaitanya avatar, Toti Lage, in order to fulfill that to preach that dharma of Nam Sankirtan, the Jugadharma, Name Prochara, Toti Lage Pita Borna, in a golden form, Pita Borna, Chaitanya avatar, he appeared to preach Krishna consciousness, to spread Krishna consciousness. Now, when Srila Prabhupada boarded the Jaladuta in Kolkata, Kirtpur Harbor, 1965. He had with him he boarded at Kolkata, and then that it sailed down past Sri Lanka, and then it actually stopped in Cochin from Kerala. And at that time, the Jaladuta remained for some time in Kerala. and the most unprecedented, the Adbut, the unprecedented, the Parama Adbut, the amazing incident happened in Cochin in Kerala when Jaladutta was remaining there. That was that the crates, the trunks, the 3 trunks of Srimad Bhagavatam. I think those must have been about 500 in that first edition, or perhaps more. The Prabhupada's first canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, on the crates was loaded onto the Jaladutta, and for the first time in history, the Srimad Bhagavatam was exported out of India. So Prabhupada, he's demonstrating by this that the spiritual education in the form of teaching spiritual literatures and teaching them, and systematically enlightening people on the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam and all of the other related Goswami Grantha and the other Prabhupada's books. Our preaching is fundamentally based upon this activity. And that's why Prabhupada, along with himself, is the Bhagavat, the person, the Bhakti Bhagavat, the person Bhagavat, the Grantha Bhagavat, the Srimad Bhagavatam, and the holy name. And Prabhupada felt with those things he was competent to fulfill the mission of his spiritual master and preach in English language and fulfill the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Priti Vidi Ache Jota Nagaradi Gram Shabatra Pracha Hoibe Mo Nam Nagaradi Gram, in every village and town, Priti Vidi Ache, on this planet. Pracha Hoibe Mo Nam, my name will be preached. Before Prabhupada's appearance on this planet, it was not preached. The holy name was not known. When Prabhupada came and he fulfilled the mission of Thakur, fulfilled the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the holy name spread all over them. And fundamentally, that's spread by spiritual education, distributing Srila Prabhupada's books and demonstrating the teachings of his books in our lives. So we're very encouraged to see Malaysia placing so much importance on spiritual education and training, investing time in training leaders. Many of our leaders, I remember in the past, Shiv Chaitanya Prabhu came and studied with us in Mayapur, a full Bhaktisastri program and teachers training program. Mahabaraha Prabhu, actually, before being recruited for the most important service of the intimate Shabak of serving Guru Maharaj in his travels, as he has been doing for more than a decade. Before taking on that service, he actually was in Mayapur and he studied with us Bhaktisastri, teachers training, empowered. And many Murli Darsham Prabhu recently has taken our courses, and in this way, what the empowerment that is experienced through systematic education based on Srila Prabhupada's books is very, very effective, very, very powerful, and we're very encouraged to see ISKCON Malaysia investing in spiritual education, sending devotees for training, and then those devotees coming back and establishing wonderful projects like the IISE Institute for Spiritual Education. I congratulate you. Bravo. Bidda Bhakti Labho. May you achieve the full blessings of Srila Prabhupada, ISKCON Bhartmana Church Brinda, and our Parampara, the great scholar, the jewel-like of scholarly Vaishnavas in our Sampradaya. May they bestow blessings upon you. Bidda Bhakti Labho. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So thank you so much to His Grace Atul Krishna Prabhu for very wonderfully sharing with us on the importance of spiritual education and also the role of IISE in shaping future leaders and also future preachers. So next, we are actually going to move on to the main highlight of this evening's program, which is the grand launching of Ipoh Institute for Spiritual Education, IISE. And for that, the organizers, they have prepared a very nice video gimmick. So we would like to actually invite His Grace Atul Krishna Prabhu, His Grace Singheshwar Prabhu, His Grace Chiranjeeva Prabhu, His Grace Loka Bandhu Prabhu, His Grace Kripa Sindhu Prabhu, and His Grace Parambrahma Prabhu to click on the red button on screen. We have a video gimmick montage there. So in a countdown of 3, 2, and 1, please kindly press.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
IISE Institute for Spiritual Education Key.
Jai.
Thank you so much, His Grace Muralidhar Sham Prabhu, for the wonderful presentation. Govinda Gaura Prabhu, நீங்க தமிழ்ல வந்து மொழிபெயர்ப்பு கொடுக்க முடியுமா பிரபு? I'm just checking possibility. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Sorry Prabhu, just asking for your permission Prabhu. Would you be able to do the Tamil translation? You're muted Prabhu. Let's see if you can unmute Govinda Gaura Prabhu. Oh, sorry. So Prabhu has no voice. So we'll be missing your wonderful Tamil translation. So நம்ம வந்து கடைசி அங்கத்துக்கு நம்ம வந்துட்டோம். ஸோ வந்து இந்த கிராண்ட் ஓப்பனிங் திறப்பு விழா நம்ம பார்த்தோம். IISE IISE Institute for Spiritual Education. ஸோ அருமையான ஒரு வீடியோ நம்ம பார்த்தோம். ஸோ கடைசியாக வந்து இப்போ இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியோட இறுதி கட்டத்துக்கு நம்ம வந்துட்டோம். ஸோ கடைசியாக வந்து Shantirpa Mataji's Kripa Shantirpa Mataji's have to leave to catch a flight. So Mataji has to leave. So Shantirpa Mataji மாதிரி என்னால தமிழ்ல வந்து டிரான்ஸ்லேட் பண்ண முடியாது. ஸோ இருந்தாலும் நம்ம வந்து அந்த இறுதி கட்டத்துக்கு நம்ம வந்துச்சு. So for the closing address, we would like to actually call upon His Grace Lokabandhu Gauranga Prabhu, President of ISKCON Malaysia, to actually share with us wonderful thoughts and also share with us on the systematic studies of Srila Prabhupada books as a mission of ISKCON Malaysia. So அடுத்தபடியாக வந்து His Grace Lokabandhu Gauranga Prabhu, அவர் வந்து ISKCON Malaysia President, அவர் கடைசியாக அந்த க்ளோசிங் அட்ரஸ் அவர் வந்து கொடுக்கறதுக்காக நம்ம வந்து அவரை வந்து இன்வைட் பண்றோம். So His Grace Lokabandhu Prabhu, handing it over to you Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you very much. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatha Desatarine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Jayapataka Swami iti namine Namacharya Padaya Nithaya Kaptarine Gaurakatadamadaya Nagagramatharine Panchakalpatrubhashta Kripa Sindhu Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jadvaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gora Bhatta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam Kuroti Vachalam Pangulam Yadgirim Yakripatamaham Bande Shri Guru Dinatharinam Pramanandamadamam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank His Grace Patita Pavan Chaitanya Prabhu for giving me this opportunity as the Master of Ceremony for tonight. His Grace Param Brahma Prabhu, who is the President of ISKCON Ipoh, for inviting me and to allow me to speak during this most auspicious event. His Grace Shimeshwara Prabhu and His Grace Srinjiva Prabhu, the Regional Secretaries of ISKCON Malaysia. His Grace Muralidhara Sham Prabhu, the instrument of inspiration to start this IISE, and Patita Taran Jagannath Prabhu, who is also one of the main inspirations to start this movement. So if you look at when Srila Prabhupada established ISKCON in 1966, he had first on the agenda for ISKCON's goal was, the purpose of setting up ISKCON was to systematically propagate spiritual knowledge to the society at large and to educate all people in the techniques of spiritual life in order to check the imbalance of values in life and to achieve real unity and peace in the world. So there's one particular purpose. Just now His Grace Shimeshwara Prabhu spoke about the sixth purpose. I think my particular title specifically will bring up this first purpose. Srila Prabhupada always wanted to systematically propagate. So he had spent a lot of time translating the Vedic scriptures into English so that the whole world will be able to have access to this knowledge. Then he also made all his disciples who were speaking different languages to take the trouble to translate in different languages. So we have today Srila Prabhupada's books in 70 different languages. Then he also wanted to start systematic studying and passing of examination. So he introduced or he spoke about setting up institutes to give our devotees opportunities to pass courses like Bhaktisastri, Bhakti Vaibhava, and Bhakti Vedanta. And Bhakti Vidya Bhushana is done later. So there are so many different category or steps of acquiring knowledge by a very systematic manner. So if you look in the world, Prabhupada said the most important thing that we need to ensure in ISKCON is to make sure that everybody receives Srila Prabhupada's books. And then if they can keep the book, he said some of you can just even keep the book, and just by keeping the book and daily looking at the book, they will get Krishna Bhakti. So can you imagine if you start reading that book? Prabhupada said, even by just looking at the book, if you have a Bhagavad Gita, you have a Bhagavatam, you have Chaitanya Charitamrita, you have Bhakti Visamrita Sindhu, Act of Devotion, Act of Instruction, so many different books are there. If you have these books in your house, and just by looking at them daily, you will also be able to become Krishna conscious. So now come to the point of reading these books. So sometimes we read these books at our leisure. But here Prabhupada said that he wanted to systematically propagate spiritual knowledge to the society at large and to educate all the people in the techniques of spiritual life. So it's not just read like just a story, but he wanted to systematically teach, that systematically they be taught how to understand the scriptures and realize the scriptures. So here it takes us to the Bhagavad Gita, where Srila Prabhupada says, chapter 4, text 32, Tadvide pare patena pare prashyena shevaya upadekshantite jnanam janinas tattva darshana. There he says that in order to acquire knowledge, want us to submissively surrender unto a self-realized soul, inquire from him submissively, render service unto him, and the self-realized soul will impart knowledge because he has seen the truth. So the most important aspect of all this education, all this wisdom, this knowledge, is that we, upon reading, learning, and experiencing them, we have to develop the realization of what is spiritual life is all about. So if we do not have this realization, if we don't come to the stage of realization, whatever education that we learn is just basically material. So IISE has been established to cater for a group of devotees who are unable to read or write. So they are able to listen to classes, remember the classes, and pass exam by virtue of speaking about the subject matter and reciting the different verses, and they can give the points forward. So we have come to another new era where those who cannot read are also have an opportunity to be able to know a lot more about Krishna and Krishna's pure devotees, his pastimes, his actual Swarup, and different aspects of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So as just now you heard all the senior devotees speak, they have mentioned many points. Atul Krishna Prabhu said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, everyone should become a spiritual master and preach. Shimeshwara Prabhu said that we have to bring ISKCON to a way of living. So we all mentioned that ISKCON is not Hinduism, it is Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma means it's a way of life. So we need to put in a lot more to make people in majority to understand what Srila Prabhupada wanted and how we can create this hemisphere. ISKCON can create this hemisphere for them to be able to check the imbalance of values of life to achieve real unity and peace. So you see, so many issues are going around in the world. So many things are happening. And here is Srila Prabhupada giving us the opportunity of reading his books. And from his books, we can really understand the purpose of life. And understanding the purpose of life, we go forward to share this knowledge by acquiring them, in a very submissive way. And we also render service in the society by preaching to others. And by this way, we get purified and we purify others, and we give the opportunity of being balanced in the world. There's peace and unity in the world. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank the organizers of the IISE, and Malaysia has taken one forward ahead by setting up this institute. And I really hope that this institute will provide all the necessary guidance, support, and facilitate devotees from all walks of life and be able to disseminate this knowledge very systematically and educate them. With this, I wish you all the best. And we in the Central Committee of ISKCON Malaysia will provide you with all our support we can to develop this IISE to the best of possible. Hare Krishna. I thank everyone. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, His Grace Lokubandha Gauranga Prabhu, for the very wonderful sharing on the need of systematic study of Srila Prabhupada books, and how now IISE has a huge responsibility, and they're actually embarking on a very unique journey, because they are also covering on devotees who are able to actually study or read, and also those who are unable to do so. So this is an opportunity for all, those who are able and those who are not able to read. So please do grab this opportunity. This is history in making, and it's about time for us to boil the milk by taking up to the systematic study of Srila Prabhupada's book in a much more serious way. So before we end, there is an audio launch. So please do stay back. So Murli Darsham Prabhu, this is audio in Tamil. So Tamil மொழியில வந்து இந்த ஒரு audio launch இருக்கு. So தயவு செய்து நீங்க கேளுங்க. Murli Darsham Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So எல்லாத்துக்கும் நன்றி. So good news. The Bhaktisastri course will be in free of cost. So no charges, based on donation only. And I'm going to share. Okay.
நன்ம வழியினிலே நன்மை தீமைக்கு இடையினிலே விளையும் போரினில் சத்தியம் வென்றிடுமா சக்தியையும் பக்தியையும் ஜென்மத்தின் முக்தியையும் அகிலம் போற்றிடும் அற்புத காவியம் கிருஷ்ணனின் மகிமையும் கீதையின் பெருமையும் ஒன்றாக
பகவத்கீதை
Can
உண்மை
you hear
உருவில்
now? Audio?
மூல சமஸ்கிருத ஸ்லோகம்
Yes, Prabhu.
தமிழ் உச்சரிப்பு வடிவம் பதவுரை மொழிபெயர்ப்பு விரிவான பொருளுரைகளுடன் தெய்வத்திரு IISE பக்திவேதாந்த சுவாமி பிரபுபாதர் அகில உலக கிருஷ்ண பக்தி இயக்கத்தின் ஸ்தாபக ஆச்சாரியர் அருளியது. வேதாந்த தத்துவத்திற்கு கோவிந்த பாஷ்யம் எனும் அருமையான விளக்க உரை வழங்கிய பலதேவ வித்யாபூஷணருக்கு சமர்ப்பணம். முன்னுரை. இப்போது வெளியிடப்பட்டிருக்கும் இதே உருவில்தான் நான் முதலில் பகவத்கீதை உண்மையுருவில் நூலை
Hare Krishna. So just a glimpse. So ஒரு அறிமுகம் தான் இது வந்து audio book in Tamil. So Prabhupada books audio. So where under the leadership of Parabrahma Prabhu and as well Gayatri Mataji his wife Tamil வந்து இந்த audio book செய்றாங்க so that it can go to everyone. So இது வந்து எல்லாத்துக்கும் without consideration to anyone anyone என்ன சொல்லுவாங்க யாரும் எதிர்பார்க்காம எல்லாத்துக்கும் போய் சேர்றதுக்காக இந்த ஆடியோ நம்ம செஞ்சிருக்கோம், especially for the Bhaktisastri students where up to now we have done up to chapter 3. So we will complete all the books up to chapter 18 and all the other Prabhupada books. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Murlidhar Sham Prabhu. So there's a wonderful opportunity coming up next on the Tamil speaking crowd. So Tamil மொழியில வந்து அந்த ஆடியோ புக் லான்ச் செய்யறாங்க. ஸோ பக்தர்கள் ரொம்ப கஷ்டமா ரொம்ப நிறைய எஃபர்ட் எடுக்கிறாங்க, நிறைய முயற்சி எடுத்து இந்த ஒரு ஆடியோ லான்ச் அவங்க ஏற்பாடு செய்யறாங்க எல்லா மாணவர்களுக்கு. ஸோ அதனால பக்தர்கள் முடிஞ்ச அளவுக்கு நீங்க வந்து சப்போர்ட், உங்களோட நன்கொடை டொனேஷன் அந்த மாதிரி நீங்க செலுத்தலாம். ஸோ அவங்க மேலும் மேலும் இன்னும் இந்த மாதிரி நிறைய முயற்சிகள் தமிழ்ல வந்து மொழிபெயர்ப்பு செய்யறதுக்காக அவங்களுக்கு வந்து ஒரு நல்ல ஒரு ஊக்கமா இருக்கும். So we would like to encourage devotees to also and well-wishers to support this wonderful initiative taken up by the organizers to actually have the audio launch the audio book in Tamil, especially for the Tamil speaking crowd. So it'll be very, very good and grateful for if they can actually get the support from all the devotees and well-wishers in their wonderful effort. So we have now come to the end of this evening's ceremony. So இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியோட இறுதி கட்டத்துக்கு நம்ம எல்லாரும் வந்துட்டோம். So we would like to take this opportunity to thank our distinguished guest, We had His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Srila Guru Maharaj, co-GBC of ISKCON Malaysia, and also ISKCON Initiating Guru. We had with us His Grace Tapan Mishra Prabhu, GBC Vice Chairman, and ISKCON Ministry of Education. We have with us His Grace Atul Krishna Prabhu, Chairman of ISKCON Board of Examination. We have both the co-regional secretary, His Grace Singheshwar Prabhu and His Grace Chiranjeeva Prabhu. And we also have had association of His Grace Dr. Lokabandhu Gauranga Prabhu, President of ISKCON Malaysia. And of course, not forgetting the wonderful devotees and the pillars behind IISE. So His Grace Parambrahma Prabhu, His Grace Murlidhar Shyam Prabhu, His Grace Patitatarana Gauranga Prabhu, and many other devotees. All these wonderful devotees have joined together with this wonderful effort. So it's time also for us to give all the support to support this IISE to come to greater heights. So with that, we would like to take this opportunity to seek forgiveness for any shortcomings. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhuva evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So please do stay tuned for more updates and please do enroll yourself. So thank you so much for all the devotees and all the senior Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis who have embraced the ceremony this evening, and also well wishes for staying with us from 8 o'clock until now. So thank you so much and Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Hare
Thank you, Patita Pavan Prabhu. Thank you so much. And I'd like to thank you, Kavini Mai Prabhu, Palakka Prabhu, and other leaders join as well. Divya Lila Mataji, one of the teacher, Viseshwari Mataji, from all the while from Coimbatore. Divya Lila Mataji, one of the teachers, also joined. She's beloved Ari Lila Prabhu's wife. And thank you so much, dear leaders. And thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
And I forgot Sridham Prabhu because he don't on the camera. Thank you so much, Sridham Prabhu.